The council chamber fell silent when Ari Ven entered. Not the comfortable silence of respect, but the primal hush that falls over prey when a predator passes. The gathered species, Velkari with their crystalline carapaces, Thulon diplomats with their 6 gentle eyes, even the mighty Korath warriors, all felt it. That ancient instinct buried deep in evolutionary memory, screaming a single word: run. Ari smiled softly, her human features gentle and unassuming. She was small by galactic standards, barely reaching the chest height of most species. Her skin was smooth, her movements careful and measured. Everything about her appearance whispered harmless. But the instincts knew better. Ambassador Ven, the Velkari Chancellor's voice crystallized into sound, trembling at frequencies only the most perceptive could detect. Thank you for joining us. The pleasure is mine, Ari replied, her tone warm. She took her seat at the circular table, and the representatives unconsciously leaned back, creating distance. For 3 cycles, Ari had served as humanity's ambassador to the Galactic Union. For 3 cycles, the Union had danced around the question that burned in every species' collective consciousness. What are humans? They came from a death world, that much was documented. Earth, a planet so hostile that merely existing there constituted a survival achievement. Crushing gravity, violent weather, predators at every level of the food chain, diseases that evolved as fast as their hosts. And yet humans had not merely survived, they had thrived. They had conquered their world so completely that they'd turned their attention to the stars. The Union had welcomed them cautiously. Humans appeared weak. No natural armor, no venom, no razor claws, no telepathic abilities. They were slow compared to Thulon runners, weak compared to Korath warriors, fragile compared to Velkari tanks. But appearances, as the galaxy was learning, could be deceiving. We have a delicate matter to discuss, the Chancellor continued. The incident at Colony 7. Ari's expression didn't change, but every being in the room felt the temperature drop. Ah, yes, she said quietly. The pirates. The Korath representative, massive and battle-scarred, shifted uncomfortably in his seat. They took hostages, 53 civilians, including 12 younglings. We had negotiators en route, a tactical team being assembled. And I handled it, Ari finished. You killed them, the Thulon diplomat whispered, all 6 eyes wide with something between horror and fascination. All 17 pirates. In 4 minutes. They were harming children, Ari said simply, as if that explained everything, and perhaps terrifyingly, it did. The footage had been reviewed dozens of times by military analysts across the Union. Ari Ven, unarmed and alone, had entered the pirate stronghold. What followed wasn't a battle, it was an execution. She had moved through trained raiders like they were standing still, her small human hands becoming instruments of surgical violence. No hesitation, no mercy. Just cold, efficient lethality. The Union had seen warriors before. They understood combat tactics, honor in battle, but Ari hadn't fought. She had hunted. We need to understand, the Chancellor said carefully. Humans say they are peaceful. You claim to value diplomacy, cooperation, life itself. And yet we're very good at killing. Ari completed the thought. Yes, we are. The admission hung in the air like a blade. Why? The voice was young, trembling but brave. It came from the observation balcony where junior diplomats watched and learned. Every head turned. Kira, a young Thulon barely past her first molt, stood at the railing. Her species was herbivorous, had never known war, had evolved in peaceful valleys where conflict meant social ostracization, not death. Kira, return to your... her mentor began. No, Ari said softly, and the room froze. Let her ask. The young Thulon descended to the main floor, her 6 eyes fixed on the human ambassador. Up close, she could see what the others felt. That wrongness beneath the skin, that sense of something vast and terrible wrapped in flesh too small to contain it. Why does the apex wear a human mask? Kira whispered. Ari stood slowly, and every representative tensed. But she simply walked to the chamber's viewing window, gazing out at the stars. Do you know what a persistence hunter is, Kira? The young Thulon shook her head. On Earth, some predators don't use speed or strength. They use endurance. They track their prey for hours, days even. The prey runs, exhausted itself, collapses, and the hunter, who never stopped, who never gave up, simply catches up. Ari turned, and for just a moment the mask slipped. Something cold and ancient looked through her eyes. Humans are persistence hunters, Kira. We evolved to chase our food until it died of exhaustion. But you're so small, Kira breathed. Yes, we're also weak. Slow, fragile. Ari's smile was gentle again, but now they all saw the teeth behind it. We have no natural weapons, no armor, no venom. Do you know what that meant on our world? Silence. It meant we had to become smarter than everything that wanted to eat us, more adaptable than everything that could kill us, more determined than everything that stood in our way. We couldn't outrun the predators, so we outlasted them. We couldn't outfight them, so we outsmarted them. We turned our weaknesses into weapons. We learned to make tools because our hands were empty. We learned to cooperate because alone we died. We learned to plan because the present was always trying to kill us. And yes, her voice hardened, we learned to kill because on Earth mercy was a luxury the dead couldn't afford. Ari walked back to the table, and this time, no one leaned away. They were finally beginning to understand. You ask why the apex wears a human mask? She looked at each representative in turn. Because we chose to. Every instinct we have, every skill evolution carved into our genes, every violent impulse that kept our ancestors alive, we learned to control it, to direct it, to save it for when it's needed. The pirates hurt children, she continued. They crossed a line written in humanity's oldest code. So yes, I killed them, efficiently, completely, without hesitation. She sat down. But I'm here now, talking, negotiating, building peace. Because that's what humans do. We contain multitudes. The Chancellor's crystalline form resonated thoughtfully. You are predators pretending to be prey. No, Ari corrected gently. We are predators who chose to be people. There's a difference. Kira, still brave despite her trembling, asked one more question. Why should we trust you? Ari's expression softened with genuine warmth. Because we chose you. We could have conquered this galaxy, Kira. Our warships could devastate worlds. Our tactics could break any defense. Our persistence would outlast any resistance, she paused. But we didn't want an empire. We wanted friends. We wanted to be part of something larger than survival. The predator beneath my skin. Ari touched her chest. It's real. It's always there. Every human carries it. But we also carry something else. The choice to be better than our nature. To protect instead of prey. To build instead of destroy. She looked around the chamber. So yes, behold the predator beneath my skin. But also behold the person who cages it. Who aims it only at those who threaten the innocent. Who chooses peace even when violence would be easier. The silence now was different, not fear, but understanding. Kira nodded slowly, her 6 eyes bright. The apex wears a human mask because it wants to. Yes, Ari smiled. Because we want to. And in that moment, the galaxy learned its most important lesson about humanity. The most dangerous predator is the one who chooses when to hunt.